Hello. Let's kind of delve into how I tame these brows. Let me show you what you'll need. You'll need a white or cream colored pencil. This one's very old, very sheer. I don't care because I only use it for this. A sharpener if it's not sharpened already, which mine never is. You'll also need some brow tools, either a spoolie or a janky brush. I like both, so there you go. Of course, you'll need your tweezers, and I personally like to use these for when I need to get a very specific hair, and I use these for when it's just like, woof, I let it go too long and I just need to pull out whole chunks. Please don't pull out whole chunks from your eyebrows. Then this, if I need to just do a little bit of cleanup, nothing too extravagant. And then finally, a little pair of scissors to just trim them down just a touch, just a touch. Okay, let's get started real fast. While I'm sharpening this pencil, I did want to mention that if my video looks a little different as far as the quality of the video, or it just looks a little, strange looking, this is a different camera, so please bear with me. It's actually the camera on my phone. So before I do anything, basically I like to take a step back away from the mirror. Also, my mirror is over here, so if you see me glancing this way, that's why. So I like to take a step back from the mirror because I don't like to be right up on it when I do this step, because the idea is to frame your face. And I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of videos that kind of show you the whole aligning thing, but for me specifically, I get a little carried away when I'm too close to the mirror when I go down here. So I like to take a step back just so I can get a general idea of what my eyes actually need. So first off, we're gonna go right here just so I know exactly where to stop. Because sometimes I will come in too far and then suddenly I have no brows there and I look like my eyes are they look like they are farther apart than they actually are. So I'm going to do it to the other side so we look just as strange on both sides. Perfect. I'm going to line that up with my eyeball, the tail end of my eyeball, connected to my nose here, just so I know, again, where to stop. And then my eyebrows naturally have an arch that is just very easy to see. So I usually straight up don't care about that part. So I'm just going to erase anything that I might have put there. And this is why I use a white or cream pencil, because it allows me to see, especially on my skin tone, precisely where the hairs are out of line. Okay, so now for the part why we actually stepped back from the mirror, I'm just going to go in and trace where I would want my brows to be. This is the same kind of thing that I would do if I were to actually be, filling in my brows with a pencil. And so I'm just making the lines that I would draw if I were drawing them, essentially. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. The beautiful thing is you can kind of see what the brow is going to end up looking like when you do this method. And so just in case my hairs are getting in the way of me seeing the full potential of my lovely brow locks, I'm just gonna sweep them up real fast just so I can really see where the line should be. I'm really just trying to follow what my brows are doing because I don't want to wipe my brows out or create an entirely new shape. All I'm trying to do is clean these suckers up. Next, I really want to go in with this one and just do the cleaning ups on the outside of the line. All right, so I'm going to get in a little closer to you guys. Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. And then I apologize if my hand is in the way here, but I'm just going to really, yeah, this is a section that's good. I ain't plucking squat right now. And the idea is to, at this point, pluck all of the hairs that do not reside within this little section. If it isn't in the section or on the line, you pluck it. And then sometimes you even pluck it if it's on the line. So I like to do really quick motions in the direction of the actual tweezer. So, ooh, squeeze me. So because this tweezer is slanted, I like to make pulling motions this way because I have the tip pointed here. So just so you guys can see, if I were gripping a hair here, which I'm now gripping a hair, I would pull in the direction that this tip is slanted. Does that make sense? Hope so. I will sometimes take the tweezers and just slant them, kind of dig under whatever hairs I think I see there, and then pull. Gently. Gentle-ish. Like, you don't want to go too crazy, but you do want to be effective with it, you know? You don't need to be here all day. And honestly, I don't want to say this, but like, the less hesitant you are, that's a better way to put it. The less hesitant you are with plucking your brows, the more the less painful it will be. Yeah, that made sense to my brain anyway. All right. So now nope, we still got a bushel full of hair down here, which we're just gonna gently get. As you can see, as you can squee, this part is fairly cleaned up as far as like bushels of hair that were underneath my line that we so elegantly created. So now I really just want to go in with these tinier tweezers, and this is the part where you want to be very specific. Like, when I say very specific, you do not want to go nuts with these particular tweezers because you will suddenly have no brows. Like, with the other tweezers, you know you're pulling out a lot, so you just kind of like only stay within the means. But with these tweezers, you can pull out some important brows that you didn't realize were even important. And suddenly you have a bald spot in your brow. We don't want no bald spots today. So we're just gonna gently go either, like, it's kind of up to you. Be artistic with your brows a little bit, but sometimes I will pluck the hairs that are like right on the edge of the line. Now I'm just really seeing if this line that I've created with my lack of hairs is clean to me. And keep in mind, you don't want to erase this line just yet. So try to work within the means of the line. There's this one hair that I think I want. Yes, I do. This one too. All right, so now hopefully you guys can definitely see, because this is more rugged brow anyway, but you guys should be able to definitely see the before. So you have the before here where you definitely have some out of place, a little bit of bushiness, and then the after where it's much more cleaned up, and then everything is like, the crazy ones are out of town, essentially, is what we're trying to do. Okay, so I'm gonna go and do the same thing on the other brow, and I'll be right back. Okay, both brows are now done, just so you can see what the other one looks like. It's a little less hectic now, yes. All right, if you need to, I would suggest going back in with the liner just so you remember where that line is supposed to be. I know it may not seem like a very big deal, but for this next part, this line tends to disappear fast. So I prefer having the extra security. There we go. Okay, so for this next part, you can either use, there we go. You can either use the little brush application that comes on. Honestly, I don't know what this thing is called, but it's a thing. It's a thing. Or you can use a spoolie. I'm gonna go with the brush application thingy today, and you're going to take those miniature scissors. First thing you wanna do is brush your hairs up. And the reason I like to use the brush is because I can clearly see up under here if I missed any spots. Might be going back in. But more specifically, I like the brush because it tends to make sure that all the hairs are actually going in this direction versus not. And then if I need to, which I usually do, I can also clip the hairs gently. Try to stay within the, or like, don't clip outside the box. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see this. Hopefully. If not, I apologize. I'm going to zoom in a little closer for you. And by zoom, I mean move. And just scooched. And then, as you can see, I'm just trying to just chip off all the hairs that go above that line. And honestly, I don't get too close to the line, if I'm being honest, because Sometimes you can get a little nuts, but just enough to say I did something. And honestly, I feel like this is the part that makes the biggest difference for my brow shape. It's the part that makes the biggest difference because then I suddenly go from, ooh, those are a little unruly, to not bad. And it makes the biggest difference when I do my makeup. So I'm going to turn my head here for this part and just snip, 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 snip. These I don't get too rambunctious with because, you know, they're going down, so I kind of need them. This hair does not feel like being cut today. Well, fine, all right, sometimes they don't. Now, the reason why the line is so critical almost is because as you're doing this, your brow area, because you are inflicting pain upon it, is going to start to swell. So it allows you to stay within the brow shape when your face is not swollen without, you know, ending up with less brows than you intended. And then when your face swells down, then you're just like, oh my gosh, I have no brows. We're gonna comb the hairs down. This part might be harder to see, so I'm gonna try and tilt up for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. I apologize though. And we're just gonna comb down. I'm gonna just comb them down real fast, right fast. So as you can see, this is why we redrew the line, so that way, you know, this happens. But now that we've combed them down a touch, I like to comb them and have them stay there. It's the key, especially for this part. So now we're just gonna go in and just snip the parts that aren't within the line. Again, you do not have to get too close to the line. If it is over the line, it is over the line. You don't have to get too close because otherwise, again, you might end up snipping off something you don't want to, which is not good. Okay, I think I'm done with this brow. So this is approximately, I'm just gonna go in with the spoolie now to just brush away any excess hairs that I have here. And this brow is now done. What do you think? So this hasn't happened yet. We're before and after. Very clean, very shapely, very shapely. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other brow off camera again, and I'll be right back. I'm back. Both brows are officially well groomed. What did I just say? Groomed. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just gonna take some Bioderma and a cotton thing and just gently, oh, so cooling. Oh, so cooling. It's so nice. And look at that. Barely there brow. It's so beautiful, but that's what I want. Oh yeah, it's so cooling. I like the cooling. Feels so nice after plucking your hairs out one by one. You have the beautiful effect of what the brows look like. They are now nice and plucked. For me, I have very small brows, or like barely there brows, so you might not be able to see the difference, but when I draw them on when I'm doing my makeup, oh boy howdy, does it make a heck of a difference. It's almost like night and day as to how difficult, as to the difficulty level between when my brows are done and when they're not. And that is everything. That is how I sculpt, pluck, and get these babies ready to be drawn on for this face, to frame the face. I hope you found this video helpful to create your own expression makers, and if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends, your family, and anyone else whom you might like. If you want to see more videos from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you, and until next time, stay lovely. Bye.